I think we'll do what we did in the last class there. That seemed to work well.
Okay.
We just again, I'll just have to take attendance, and then we'll get rolling. Kenny, what's up? Come joining us.
Is
Cool.
that teacher?
It's a student from last semester. We've had a couple students from last semester stop by. So, yeah, we had one in the first class, and then we had another student stopping by. So,
Sweet.
yeah. So what happens is, so it's a semester class, and students who took the class last semester, they're considered alums. So they're able to sit in on second semester speakers.
Sweet.
So yeah, so you've had some students who've wanted to stop by. So I sent out the schedule to the students from last semester. So we'll see if other folks want to come back and say hi as well. So yeah, so interesting. Now you probably do most of your communication, with Zooming and stuff. Do you ever get invited to like conferences where you have to speak in person?
I am speaking at the Acapulco conference in Acapulco on February 12th to the 22nd,
Okay.
or 16th to 22nd. And I was actually in Roseanne with it. I did Roseanne Barr interview in her studio, and that was super fun. And you can
Okay.
find that on my website under interviews.
Okay.
And I'm getting invited to more and more in-person things. In person's fun. Audio only is fun, but doing it on Zoom allows me to bring up a lot of graphics.
Yeah, I was about to say you have, you're able to pull up the screens and do all of that. So I can see where that's helpful. Um, yeah, I'm just curious, real quick here, is do you get to talk to any other schools, or are we the only school that
Uh,
you talk to?
I am doing your sister school. Well, don't say the name because I don't want to have to edit it out.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm doing them, and there are other schools are getting interested, but you are the pioneer here.
we're kind of blazing the trail.
You know what?
Um,
There's nothing wrong with letting kids think for themselves.
Well, it'll be interesting to hear with the debriefings tomorrow, and because there's a lot to process. So it'll be interesting to
On
hear
that
what.
list of videos I sent you, there's one of them called 21 questions, and then it says crash
Yeah,
course. That if they can watch that one, it answers the top 21 questions, so they don't because I'm guessing the 9 out of 10 of the things they're going to say are answered in that video.
yeah, and it actually is posted on the website, so
Okay,
that way they can access it. Yeah.
sweet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to chat with Flat Earth Dave, and appreciate him taking time to be with us. So, what we're going to do is, so it is being recorded. Names and images are deleted, so you'll just hear the context. You won't be identified. But I do, just for his sake, want to show the room so that at least you get a chance to see him. So everybody say hi.
Hello.
And what we'll do is I usually will ask a few general questions, something that's been kind of questions that have been brought up in all the classes. Then at that point, we'll just turn it over to you guys.
I have a question before you flip the camera. The guy in the white hat, what are you drinking?
A monster.
That's really bad for you, dude. Really bad.
Yeah, come on, no.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry.
All right.
Really bad.
So let's begin here by just what made you interested in learning and discovering about a flat Earth, and why it's important. Why do we need to kind of follow this journey with you?
Sure. I was investigating lots of deceptions that happen in this world. Some people call them conspiracy theories, but the truth is, I'm a conspiracy analyst where we look at situations and we decide. We look at evidence, and and find the truth. And, there's a funny line that says, what's the difference between a conspiracy theorist and a fact? And the answer is about 6 months. Because all the stuff I've been researching for the last 2 decades, all of it's come true. All of it. All of it's been proven true, not come true because it already happened. So, people suggested that I look into flat earth. And first I thought it was a joke, thought it was the dumbest thing ever. And I refused to even watch a 1-minute video. And then finally, another researcher who has done some great documentaries said, Dave, you got to look into this. And I said, okay. And I went into it not with an open mind. I went into it just to disprove it. I'm like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Of course, we live on a globe. Of course. Right. And I was defending the globe. And I went in this was in 2014. And I tried for 2 weeks straight to disprove the globe. And the more I looked, it was like a bug caught in a spider web. The more information I found that just brought me deeper and deeper. And then I realized, wow, the earth is not a globe. And then I'm like, well, what difference does it make? I still have to go to work on Monday. That's not true also. It changes your life. They want you believing that you live in a spinning globe in a world of lack where you have no power, you have no say, the government rules over you, and we're running out of resources, and you need to work in a factory, and and all of this fear-based propaganda. That's how they control you, with fear. The globe is a fear-based system. Fear, false evidence appearing real, FEAR. So I realize that this is a very important topic because it is the key to freedom. If you don't know where you are, who you are, what this place is, then you have no footing. And there's no way to win against, well, let's just say the evil ones that are looking to control you. And so, I went to college, I went into corporate America, I worked my way up through 2 industries to the top of those industries. And then I started my own company with a couple partners where I was making a very good money, more money than I ever thought I'd make. And everything was going well, except my truth journey was interfering with my business life. And I had to make a decision what I wanted to do, throw away everything that I worked for, the American dream. I went to college, I got a job, started my own business, was making a large amount of money. And I could keep doing that. Right. Because that's what we were trained to do. That's why I go to school and go to college and everything. Or I could throw it all in the garbage and go out on the road and try to wake people up to the one thing that's keeping us slaves. Whether you know it or not, you are a slave in a system that you're even unaware of because you can't see the walls. And I decided to do that instead. And so, when people say, oh, you're doing it for the money. No, I walked away from the money. I'm doing it because I want a future for myself, for my kids, and for the whole world. And it's actually a super fun journey, and it's amazing. And nobody that gets into flat earth walks away from it unless they've completely lost their mind, right? So this is my app I have. Let me just show you. This represents probably a fraction of 1% of the flat earthers in the world. And if we look, here's America. I'll zoom into, the East Coast here. These are less than 1% of the people researching flat earth. Here's the UK, right? Worldwide, this is a phenomena, and nobody gives, once you start seeing it, nobody can unsee it. So what I'm hoping to do today is, I don't want you to believe anything I tell you. I want you to have the resources and know where to go to look for yourself. But let me tell you something. The easiest thing to do is when that bell rings, close your books, walk out of here, and forget everything I said, because it's a lot less work. So it's up to you whether you want to free your minds and have an advantage in this world, understanding what it is and what it isn't. It may not be super popular at first, it certainly wasn't in 2014, but now, look at me. I'm speaking in high schools. I'm speaking at a conference in Acapulco in a couple of days. And I was on the Roseanne Barr podcast, Jim Brewer. I don't know if I'm trying to think of some people that you guys might know. And all over. And it's becoming a bigger and bigger deal. And it's incredible the amount of effort that the elite are doing to try to stop it. But, the old saying is the genie's out of the bottle and you can't put it back in. So real quick, Flat Earth is not a disk floating in space, which you will see, if you Google flat Earth. Google's going to feed you nonsense. The top 10 reasons the Earth is flat, they're going to give you top 10 reasons the Earth is a globe, right? And wherever the sun is, it's noon. So we're right here on the East Coast. So it's around 11:30 as the sun comes around. If I called somebody in the Central South America, they would say the sun is directly above them and it's noon. And over here, it's midnight on the west side of Australia. And the sun circles around. The sun circles around, taking its light with it, measuring the hours and the days. So the sun is part of the hour hand on the clock. The moon is falling behind the sun. The sun will lap it every 28, 29 days. So the moon keeps track of the weeks and the months. There used to be 13 months of 28 days before they hijacked our calendar. And that's 364, and then one day to reset the year. New Year's, by the way, is on April 1st, not January 1st. And so the moon keeps track of the weeks and the months. And if I turn on the stars are going slightly faster than the sun. So the sun will fall backwards as the stars lap it. It takes 365 times around for the stars to lap the sun. So the sun will move through each zodiac backwards, even though it's going forward because it's just getting outrun. And that keeps track of the seasons and the years. So the sky is the most accurate clock in the world because every other clock and timepiece is based off of the sky clock. Seasons happen because the sun goes out here on the Tropic of Capricorn, this yellow line, for December 21st, and it moves into the inner north where we live for June 21st, and the sun is higher because it's closer. I want to go over seasons real quick because that's always an interesting one, and then we'll jump right to questions because we didn't hit seasons in the last couple classes, and it is a good one. So here is we got two people sitting outside and it's freezing cold. Let's say it's freezing cold, and somebody comes over with a heat lamp and holds it directly above this person, right? And so this person sees the sun directly high in the sky. Right? Let's say it's 10 feet, right? It doesn't matter. And this person sees the sun like 40 degrees up in the sky, right? So this person's warm and this person's colder and the sun's farther. And now this person will migrate themselves over, keeping the sun at the same height. Now look, for this person, the sun looks lower and this person, it looks higher. And now, even though it's the same height, this person's warm with a higher sun. This person's cold with a lower sun. That's how seasons work, right? So this is, let me just show you this, and then we'll jump back. On the globe model, in the morning, we have a 93 million mile away sun, and it's colder. Oops, sorry. And then in the afternoon, we have a 93 million mile away sun, and it's warmer. And in the afternoon, the evening, we have a 93 million mile away sun, and it's colder again. Like the difference in miles here compared to 93 million miles is 0.0000001. It makes no difference, right? But on a flat Earth, we have a local small sun circling over the Earth, just like I was showing you. Very small, very local. So in the morning, we have a distant sun. It's a little colder. Then it gets warmer at noon, and then it gets colder as it moves farther away. And we don't see the sun go like this. We see it rise up to the noon point and then go down just due to perspective. And that's how we see the sun travel over the Earth. So so when it's over the Tropic of Cancer, it's summer here. It's summer here out south. And on a flat Earth, here's our inner northern summer, and here's our outer southern summer, right? So this is our winter when the sun's out here. There's seasons. Let's go to questions.
Yeah, let me ask a question I've asked in the other classes, and then we'll open it up for you guys there. And that is that this notion of outer space, is outer space to be found literally outer space, or is there really kind of almost like an inner space that really is contained on Earth?
Yeah, so when they talk about outer space, they want you to believe that we live on a lumpy rock surrounded by curved, smooth water when it's at rest, no one's ever measured the curve, surrounded by high pressure air. Think about that, right? When you open a soda can, it goes, it instantly equalizes. And then adjacent to a void of no pressure called the vacuum of space, right? That is scientifically impossible. Go ask your science teacher, can gas, high pressure be next to no pressure without a container? And you can't. And then you say, well, what about on Earth? There's no container holding it. And he'll say, well, gravity, right? So gravity is holding the Earth down, right? Holding the air down. That's what the science teacher probably never even learned it, but he's just going to guess at it. The gravity's holding the air down. And then that's what you have to believe, right? And the official story is that all of the air circles with the Earth because of billions of years of the Earth spinning, and its topographical, of mountains and valleys has made all of the air spin with the Earth. Okay. There's so many problems with that. It's unbelievable. But here's one. We got clouds going in opposite directions, different layers of clouds. This shows you that the air is not connected through viscosity to the Earth. Right. And if I can take a box of no air and I can poke a hole in the bottom, top, side, and it instantly will fill with air. Or if I had air in a box in a room of low pressure or no pressure, I put a hole in it, it's going to violently fill the available space, except in outer space. In outer space, gases collapse upon each other and make suns that have gravity, helium and hydrogen that defy gravity, right? Here's the thing. At this point, you haven't learned any of this stuff. Because they don't teach you to think. They teach you to memorize or regurgitate. You want to get an A in a class, except this class, you have to memorize and write down exactly what they told you, and then you get an A. So, hey, you're a good parroter. So that's a huge problem with the education system. And I have my shirt on. It says, "You're not stupid. It's stupid." Okay. It's stupid. The globe is so stupid that you are even afraid to look at it. And the people that defend the globe, they don't know anything about it. You ask them, what's the radius? What's the circumference? How fast is it orbiting the sun? How fast is it spinning? How far is it from the sun? How did they figure it out? They know none of that, because if they knew all of the details, they'd be like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. So there we go. Where do you want to go?
And then just to follow up then, because people are going to ask then, just as a follow-up, say, okay, well, is there life in outer space? Are there aliens? And you're saying there really isn't outer space is tenable. Then what do we do? Where do we go with that?
So on a flat Earth, this is our Earth. Large bodies of water at rest need containment. Well, here's the containment of our Earth, which is the shoreline of the world pond, right? A pond needs a shoreline to contain the water. Guess what the highest land on Earth is? Of all the continents in the world, that they tell us about, the highest one, over double the height of any other continent, is Antarctica. Well, Antarctica is the shoreline of our world pond, and no one is allowed to independently explore out here, out in this outer area or this outer space. It's off limits to independent exploration, right? So what did they do? They took it, they wrapped it around a ball, and they said, this is where you live, and you're not allowed to explore this area. We'll let you go right here to this little peninsula. We'll show you some penguins and some ice, but you're not allowed to cross over here. And guess what? No one's ever crossed over. Now, they have stories of people crossing over, but they've been completely destroyed, debunked. So the question is, what if the world was set up like this? What if this was our local pond? So here we got America, South America, Australia. So get yourself oriented here. And out here is extra land, extra territory. Now, again, I want to preface this by saying we're not able to go out there. There's lots of stories, and I'll point you to some of them that you can go, and lots of evidence that there is more land, but we do not need to go beyond the shoreline of Antarctica to prove the Earth is a level, non-rotating plane. They admit it. It's scientifically provable 1,000 ways, and we've done it thousands of ways. But I kind of believe there's more land out here. And if there's more land, more extra land, territory, extra terra. If somebody lived on the extra terra and came to visit us in the inner space, what might we consider them? An extraterrestrial from the outer space. Now, that's just thousands of miles away. A day trip, right? Versus outer space in the heliocentric system, the closest star they say to our solar system is 25 trillion miles away. So 25 trillion miles. If we had a spaceship that went a mile per second and we went for 1 trillion seconds, we've only gone 1/25 of the way there, and that's 31,000 years. 1 trillion seconds is 31,000 years, right? If Elon lent me a rocket that goes 100,000 miles an hour, inconceivable. It would only take us 28,000 years to get to the next impossible planet or star in a space vacuum, which is scientifically impossible. Ask your physics teacher, right? And then it comes here and crashes in Roswell, or is it just coming from here? Right in. That's it. So I believe in other races, other civilizations, and I talked about in the first class. There's been some resets that have happened on this earth not that long ago, and the society has been reset, and there was advanced civilization here just a couple hundred years ago. Lewis and Clark that went across, the country to find trade routes out to the Pacific Ocean. There was nothing there. That was in 1803, I think. There was nothing there. But then in 1820, there's panoramic pictures of Chicago and San Francisco, fully built out cities before power tools, before cars, before cranes, before everything, right? In 20 years, they built full cities. And these cities were, all the buildings, if you look at them, they were founded. What does founded mean? Builded or founded? They were found. And this is something that your history teacher will not teach you. On my app, and I highly recommend you guys look at the app. There's the old world section, and you can find this video on my website, Old World Order. Watch that video. And then this guy, Kenny, from My Lunch Break, he's on YouTube, he's on Rumble, he's everywhere. Just start watching his videos, and you will never be able to walk outside, even in your hometown, without going, how did I never see that? How come I never noticed that? How come I never thought about that? Because you were told a scenario, and you just believe, because belief is the lazy man's knowing. So I am giving you the tools today to change your life forever. You can forget about it and just go out and hang out with your friends, or you can take the time and watch these videos and think for yourself. Don't believe me. Don't believe anybody. Don't believe the comments. Go verify it yourself. All right. Where are we going?
All right. We're going to open it up now for questions for you guys. Roselle, why don't you start us off?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Speak up loud.
Okay. So you don't believe in gravity. So how are we staying on this earth? Because technically, if there's no gravity, then technically I can jump up and just go up all the way to the sky.
Yeah. Are you more dense than the air that's surrounding you?
Yeah.
Okay. So buoyancy and density sort everything out. But this is a great question. Gravity is their holy is the one thing that they love doing, right? Flat Earth, we're crazy because we think down is down for everybody, but on a globe Earth, people think that they're antipodal to each other, standing upside down on a spinning ball, and they don't feel any of the spin. They don't feel anything, which is crazy. So Walter Lewin, who's an MIT professor, he says it's electrical forces that hold our world together, right? Electrical forces. So everything is electric and magnetic. Electricity and magnetism are brother and sister. So here is our world is an incredible electrical system. The sun and the moon are the anode and the cathode. The salt water carries the current. The land is the salt bridge. If you know your chemistry, this creates a battery. So we live in this electric system. We are electric beings. Everything has an electric charge to it. Everything, from the food, the air, everything. So, we don't have boats upside down on a spinning ball adjacent to a space vacuum. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm trying to find, here we go. Where did it go? Where did my, 1 second. All right. So I'm just lost something here. 1 second. So where did it go? I lost my, see, when this happens, I'm like, they're hiding stuff from me. So where is it? All right. Oh, here you go. So here we got the leftover helium balloons, and I got this button here, and we have it just tied on here, and it's about 2 inches off the floor. And this wire goes to what's called a Van de Graaff generator, and we're going to add a positive charge to it. Now, the Earth has a negative charge, and everything above the Earth is in a positive charged field, right? When we add a positive charge to it, it gets heavier. It goes down. Now, do we change the gravity or do we change the electric charge? We change the electric charge. When we discharge, it goes back up. Okay. So we can do the same thing, the opposite. We can add a negative charge. We add a negative charge, this thing goes up, right? We turn it off, it goes back down. Turn the negative charge on, keep it up, it goes up. Negative and negatives, oppose each other. So we can make things float by using electrostatics, right? So this is from MIT again. This is called the silent drone. It's got no moving parts, no fans, nothing. It's just changing its electrostatic charge and it flies. Now the XRT-3B triangle aircraft, which has been, public information now, they admit that they use electrostatics to levitate and electrostatics to move forward. So this isn't a theory. This is nothing. This is just stuff that's being hidden from you, right? So electrostatics make things go up and down, right? And so once you understand that, so science says the electrostatic charge, ready for this? If gravity is real, the electrostatic charge is 10 to the 36 power stronger than gravity. 10 to the 36 power stronger than gravity. You cannot fathom what that number is, right? If I was in there and I punched one of you in the shoulder with just a good buddy punch, you're like, ow, cut it out. If I punch you 1,000 times harder, it would probably break your back and you'd go to the floor. If I punch you 100,000 times harder, you're dead. I punch you 1,000,000 times harder, you'd probably explode. I punch you 1,000,000,000 times harder, it might take the whole school down. If I punch you 1,000,000,000,000 times harder, you can't even fathom. It'd be like a nuclear bomb if they were real. Okay. That's 10 to the 18th power. We got to do that. We got to go times 1,000, times 1,000, times 1,000, times 1,000, times 1,000 again. Right. And that's how much stronger the electrostatic charge is that we just proved through the scientific method is stronger than gravity. So what is that telling us? Gravity doesn't exist. That's what it's telling us. So there you go.
Okay, let me get Cole and then Elise.
Okay, so if you're traveling in a car at a constant rate of speed, can you feel the movement?
If that car takes a turn, you're going to feel it. You have a dinner plate of water. You're going 100 miles an hour in a car on a perfectly smooth road, and you fill a dinner plate with water. If that car speeds up or slows down or the tiniest bit or takes the slightest turn, the water's right off that plate. None of the motions of the earth are linear. Right? If you want to compare it to an airplane, okay, an airplane's going 500 miles an hour. The slowest motion of the earth is the spin of the earth, which is double that. So first you got to double the speed of the airplane. Then the earth doesn't have an outer shell on it. You have to take the outer shell off of the airplane. Okay. And then to follow the curve at 1,000 miles an hour, you have to drop at a mile per minute. So the plane has to nosedive at a mile a minute just to follow the curve. Let me know how your water's doing. Let me know if you notice any of that motion.
Okay, so just for argument's sake, if the globe is real, and I just looked this up real quick, the circumference of the Earth would be 24,901 miles.
Correct.
You said if you're moving in a car and you're moving 70 miles an hour and you turn ever so slightly, just like a fraction of a degree, you wouldn't feel that, right?
Correct. But you gotta say the motion of the Earth, you're dropping at a mile per minute. And you're turning, and we're speeding up and slowing down.
No, but if we're moving just so slightly, would you at least concede that if the Earth was spinning at a slow enough rate, you wouldn't feel it move? Because even though you have to go all the way around in one day, the distance that you have to travel is so long that the fraction is next.
No, that's incorrect. If you were on a merry-go-round that was spinning around once per day, you'd be bored. You'd kill yourself because you'd just be so bored. You wouldn't even notice it. But if you expanded that merry-go-round to 24 miles in circumference, you'd be going a mile per hour. You definitely notice that. Now you got to expand it to 24,000 miles an hour. You're going 1,000 miles an hour, banking to the right at a mile per minute. Okay. You're going to be thrown off that horse. You're dead. Okay, it's not going to happen.
Everything around us is also moving at 1,000 miles per hour.
It doesn't matter if you're on a merry-go-round and you got a table of dinner table on the merry-go-round with you, and you got a mountain sitting behind you, and you're going 24,000 miles an hour. Or you're going 1,000 miles an hour. You're going to notice it. It doesn't matter if everything's moving with you. You'd feel those forces.
Okay. Unless the merry-go-round is as big as, per se, a globe.
I'm saying it's at 24,000 miles around. Yeah, that would be the circumference of the globe, the alleged circumference of the globe.
Okay. Let me get Elise, you had a question.
Okay, so you talked about how the elites want to kind of conceal the flat earth from us. What do you think their motivation is? And every government and every elite would have to come together to be able to hide this from the entire world. So how do you think they do that, and why do you think they would want to control us in that way, and how do you think?
Well, this is all about controlling the human population. They don't want to, Rockefeller said it himself. He doesn't want a nation of thinkers. He wants a nation of workers. So they took over the education system just to give you, they teach you the math. They teach you calculus and geometry, basic geometry, and managerial accounting, and all of the slave math. They don't ever teach you about vortex mathematics. They don't teach you about sacred geometry. Probably never even heard of those two things, right? But if you looked at those, it might actually inspire your mind to really want to think and understand what this world is. There's incredible things that have been done in the past with civilizations that understood all of this. We think we're at the pinnacle of civilization, but we're literally near the conclusion of the movie Idiocracy, right? Which has become a documentary at this point. So why would they do it? It's and are they all in on it? Only the very top is. Like, if you shop at Costco, do the people that work at Costco, do they know what the CEO is thinking? Do they know his motivations? They don't know anything, right? There's people, everything is compartmentalized. But yes, all of the countries are in it together. They're all in it. They just use countries, which are arbitrary lines, to divide and conquer, right? If they keep us separated, they want us separated. They want us fighting with each other. They want to say systemic racism is a real thing. They want, they're literally trying to keep us at odds with each other, to control us. And, it certainly is an evil plot, if that's the right word. And a lot of people don't want to face the fact that there are evil beings in this world that are trying to control this world. In the first class, I talked about the old world a little bit. And I don't know if we have time to do it again, but there was an advanced civilization here just a couple hundred years ago. And it looks like there's some sort of reset of society that happens every 300 or 400 years. That's not a really long amount of time. And all of these resets, they come with World's Fairs. And you've never been taught about the World's Fairs. You should look into that. It's on my app in the Old World section, World's Fairs. That they literally usher in the new society that they want after what they call the reset. And what's interesting right now is Dubai is having a World's Fair. Trump just announced he wants to do a World's Fair. These are interesting times that we're in. And again, it's easy just to ignore all of this stuff and play with your friends and just get your homework done, memorize, regurgitate. Get an A on the test, and your parents are happy. So again, if you want to free yourself from the matrix, which is the globe, you need to really take the time and effort to think about it. So what's 3 reasons to lie? What has flat earth done for your well-being? People like to ask me. Well, I'm definitely more at peace because I understand what this world is. I have a greater sense of freedom because I understand what this world is. And I have a clearer connection to the creator. Now, does that make me religious? I'm not religious. I just know for a fact that this place is intelligently designed, right? To believe in the globe, you have to believe that once upon a time, there was nothing. It exploded and became everything. And then the gases disobeyed physics and turned into gas balls in a space vacuum. And the rocks turned into planets. And then lightning struck and DNA was created, which is impossible. And that DNA turned into a fish. And the fish grew legs and climbed out of the water, found another sexy fish, and had a monkey. And that monkey had a human. That's what they want you to believe. That's what they teach in school. All of that has been disproven. It's all nonsense. And once you see this, it changes everything. Again, Google will not feed you any of this information. You have to find it yourself, and then you have to verify it yourself. Next.
Yeah, we got a couple of questions here, Keaton, and then we'll go back.
So how is the sun like staying in the sky? If like, because you said like gravity isn't real, so density wouldn't density pull it down then?
Yeah, so there is we don't again, anything that can be said about any of the luminaries in the sky is that they're lights. We don't know what they are. The sun does not appear, the sun that we see does not appear to be physical. It appears to be a focused point of light. Some Masons, the high up Masons have leaked some videos saying that the sun is literally being projected from the center of the earth up into the sky onto the firmament, which is interesting. But again, these are things that we can't actually prove. So the sun that we see is definitely in an apparent position for each person on Earth. And when the sun goes away, people think this is the horizon. This is actually thousands of feet above your eye level. And just like this camera is slightly below the table, and the sun just goes away beyond the horizon, and that's why the sun goes down. But this is not a physical sun that you're seeing.
Okay, so if it's being projected onto like the firmament, which is like the cover of the earth, right? Is it a box then if it stays at the same height?
No, it's not. It circles around, and we can watch it get smaller. It depends on the atmospheric conditions, because as it gets lower, it gets more magnified. But certain times you can see it where literally it should be going down, but it's just going away. It's just going away, and it's taking its light with it. It's a small local light, and it's just going away. On the app, on the "Where Does the Sun Go" section, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of videos that you'll never find on Google. And you can watch them and look at them, and then you can go out and film it yourself.
Before Maddie has a response to the question, and then I'm going to ask Izzy the next question.
So I was here for one of your other classes, and in what you show us, the sun is going below the horizon, but
beyond.
What you showed us, the diagram that you showed us, you showed that the sun goes around. So wouldn't it, kind of go around the horizon from, if we were just on a standpoint, instead of going below and above the horizon, if it was accurate to the diagram that you showed?
Right. So if you look, the sun has to be close to you to be visible, right? It has to be close to you. So right now the sun is going out around here, and it's pretty dark and near the center. But where are we in January? Hold on. February, March, April, May, June. So in June, the sun is all the way in here, and it's close to the Norway and Alaska, and they see the sun circle around them. It never goes below the horizon for months. It just circles around them because it's never far away from them, right? Because its light goes past the North Pole. So everything in this little circle here, in the Arctic, the sun arcs around them. Okay. And so it does see it circle around just like that. That's how that happens. What else was your question? I'm sorry, did I answer it? Oh, and I you wanted to know how the sun sets. So let's talk about how it sets when it gets farther away. And how much time do we have left?
We have 10 minutes. I know we have some other questions.
Okay.
As
well, this is an important one on how we see the sunset. So here is where is it? All right. So where's it going? I keep losing my things. All right. So here is, that's not it. Give me 1 second. All right. 1 second here. All right. Okay, I got it. So here is 1 second. Sorry about that. All right. So here we have a guy standing on a pier. The water is below the pier. Your common sense tells you that. Again, I created this. You got the sun on the water. I mean, the boat on the water. The sun's up in the air. Got this tree right here. Tree's higher than the guy, right? You guys see that, right? And so your life experience tells you that the water is not higher than the pier, because it would be on the pier if that's the case. Again, this is an illustration, right? So you're sorting all of this out in your mind in an instant of a second. That's how you see it. Where's the 50-story skyscraper building in this picture?
Nowhere.
It's right here. We're actually in New York City looking straight up, okay? And so we're looking straight up. And then so your perspective doesn't, you have, everything has to be in context. So we're looking up it's noontime, and then at 1 o'clock, the sun goes beyond the building. Now, did the sun set below the horizon, or is it beyond the building?
Beyond the building.
Beyond the building. Very good. So there the sun goes beyond the building. All right. So here we have a perspective grid. You guys have seen this, right? The sides come in, the top and the bottom ramp down, and this is it. So we have a guy standing here. This is his eye line, and we throw a mountain in here. Let's say this mountain's 3,000 feet above him, and you got the sun up here. Now the sun is going away. Is it below the horizon, or is it beyond the mountain? Beyond the mountain. Okay, it's beyond the mountain. So if we go, so the guy could go up in the air and see the sun again, or he could go backwards. Let's make him backwards like 20 miles, right? So at 20 miles, he could see the sun again, right? Now this mountain line, this line here is 3,000 feet above his eye line, but he sees it like at his eye line, and the sun goes beyond the mountain again. It's going beyond his horizontal eye zone, horizon, not curve eye zone, right? And if we add the clouds, we got this atmospheric layer, and look at the clouds. They all merge into this same line right here. So the sun goes beyond this horizontal eye zone again. And so what can we say about this line here? This line, it's the mountain 3,000 feet above his eyes, but the clouds are 5,000 or 10,000 feet above that. So it's 18,000 feet above his eye level, but it appears to be a horizon, and your programming tells you that's a globe and the sun is going below it. It's just going beyond it. And you can't zoom it back in because it's beyond it and it's opaque.
Izzy, you were going to ask the next question?
Yeah, if you don't believe in the Big Bang and you don't believe in God, how do you think the Earth was made?
Well, I didn't say I don't believe in God. I said I know for a fact that there's a creator. I used to be, I guess the word would be atheist. You know, I was a little spiritual. I believed in evolution, but when I discovered that the Earth is intelligently designed, you have to throw out the Big Bang, which was made up by a Jesuit priest. You have to understand that there is a creator, and then you have to figure out who the creator is for yourself. I'm not here to tell you that.
Let's see, Liliana.
You said that you didn't have any like scientific proof about, or like, I guess, backing to the sun theory, but there's been a lot of scientific proof backing that the sun is held up by gravity. So how would you disprove that?
No, there hasn't been. There's just been pseudoscience. The sun is made from helium and hydrogen that defy gravity here on Earth, and gases violently fill the available space. But for some reason, when you have a lot of gases in space, they collapse and create nuclear burning furnaces that we call suns and stars. And they say that the sun is burning 640 billion tons of helium every single day for billions of years, and it doesn't change size. That's called pseudoscience. There's zero evidence ever of that ever happening, right? The globe model, and people say the globe model, my answer is, what globe model? If you had a globe, right, a model on your desk, a globe, right? Can you pour water on the outside? No, it won't stick. Can you stick a man or a ship to the bottom of it? No, it won't stick. Can you contain air on the outside of it? No, there's no containment. But if we had a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken with mashed potatoes and gravy in a bucket with a plastic dome lid on it, can you float a cruise ship on there? Sure. Right? Can you contain air underneath the lid? Sure. Right? Is the gravy contained from flowing outwards because of the walls on the side? Yeah. So a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken is a better model of the Earth than the globe. The globe isn't even a model; it's a toy.
We got a few minutes. So who has not asked a question yet and wants to ask a question? Okay, Vinny.
I wanted to follow up with Maddie's question. Can you go back to the picture with the mountains?
For the perspective of the sun?
Yes.
Yeah, what's your question?
The question was asking why doesn't the sun move left and right across the horizon if it rotates on the
Sure, it does. So this is just my illustration. I am doing this, but if you actually watch the sun, it does curve around. Especially if you're in the north, watch where it comes up on the horizon. You know, if you're in an area where you can watch the sunrise and sunset, you'll see that it curves around you, and it's not going 180 degrees across. Like if it rises at 90, it's not setting at 270, except on the equinox where it will do that. But you'll see that it curves more in the summer when it's making that tighter circle as it does in our winter when it's making a wider circle. We have the sun. We can watch the sun shrink, and we can watch it shift to the right as it sets in many videos. On my app, on the section, Where Does the Sun Go? There's lots of videos showing all of that.
Cameron, did you have your hand up?
Yeah. So I was just gonna revisit how you said that like we're being like lied to about the globe and other like censorship things like that. Even though like you think that, like what do you do next with that information, or like what other things does that
Great. What's the action step? And the thing is, you know, people are fighting all the atrocities that are going on in the world, but if you're lost in space, you don't know who you are. You need to figure out what this place is, and you need to understand that nobody has control over you. The only authority above yourself is God, and you can even just say God is within you. So governments are not above you; they want to get above you and above God. That's not how it is. However, if you willingly give away your rights, then you're willingly part of the system that they want you on. So what can you do? You literally can just say, no, I'm not participating. If you play on their ball field, you have to play by their ball field rules, right? When you're born, you're commoditized. They turn you into a stock certificate. That's your birth certificate. They trade you on the stock market, and they make you use their fiat fake money, right? You guys know what Bitcoin is, right? Most of you, some of you, right? I offer 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof. Take your time, take the crash course, watch the featured videos on the app every day, and then send me a globe proof and you win 3 Bitcoins. That'll set you up nice, right?
Dave, the bell's about to ring here, so you want to go ahead and thank you for presenting.
Thanks. So the teacher's going to give you some videos to watch. I guess they're on the website or wherever you get them. Take the time, watch them, use your mind, right? Use your mind, understand what this place is, and it will change your life forever. So there you go. Thanks.
Isabel, do you have a question for me? Yeah, do you want to ask before you leave? Okay. The tyranny of time.
Yes.
Okay, you do have a question here from a student.
Good.
I had a couple of questions. Realizing you just said you have kids.
Speak loud. Go ahead. It's a lot of noise.
You did say you have kids, right?
I do.
Do you like kind of like implement the idea of flat Earth on them? Like,
so my kids are older, and they know my thoughts, and they don't really embrace it a lot, but at this point they know the Earth is flat, but they just want to live their lives and have fun. They don't want to deal with it, basically, because it's easier not to go against mainstream, right?
Yeah.
And
I just wanted to like give your reaction, because some might say that you just say ridiculous things to promote your app because you're a salesman. Like, my opinion is that, and I'm assuming others as well just think that you're a salesman for your app, saying, "Oh, come watch my video and you'll understand more."
No. Hold on. I always say there's plenty of free stuff on my website, all free, right? The app just gives you access to tons and tons of stuff so you can have every question answered, but it's all free. It's on, you can find it. Just hit the crash course. And I say it's scientifically impossible to watch the first 5 videos in there and not become a flat earther. But the question is, will you take the time and watch them, right? And to say I'm a salesman, I was making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and my company was growing tremendously, and I walked away from it all to sell a $3 app? I don't think so.
You have one more question.
So wait, hold on. Before you go, hold on. What's your favorite proof that the Earth is a globe?
Well, I don't know if it's like really proof, but I'm really religious and like I feel like there's a creator.
Like,
and
biblically, are you a Bible?
no, I'm not. I'm not Christian.
Okay, what what religion?
I'm Muslim.
Okay, the Quran is a flat Earth book. Okay, there's so much flat Earth information in the Quran, it's unreal. All right, and so is the Bible, but you have to take a look.
All right,
Peace.
we'll do.
One more question, and then
Hello.
Okay. Hi, I have a question. So, if like back in the time of Galileo, right? They tried like their very best to like persecute him, like arrest him, everything. Why would they switch up just suddenly and like stop trying to do that for people?
Yeah, so when you look at in history, you know, when they tell you you know, these are all stories. All of these are stories, right? You don't believe, you know, we don't know. They're all Masons. They're all making Masonic signs. So whatever that means. But you know, the story of Eratosthenes with his sticks and shadows, right? He figured out 2,000 years ago the shape of the earth, but other mathematicians wrote books for centuries after that, never about the earth, never once mentioning Eratosthenes. The first time his experiment was ever published was in the 1900s. Okay, that's just not that long ago. So that's like writing history on the Chicago Bulls and leaving out Michael Jordan, right? So again, all of this stuff, the only proofs that the Globers have are looking up at the lights in the sky, which are immeasurable, non-physical, and talking about things that happened thousands of years ago that they have no proof of.
Let me just for a second here. I'm going to go. We have a class coming in, so okay. I'm going to. You want to just go in the hallway then?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So just bear with me a second here.
You got it. Yep.
Yeah. So let me do this. Yeah. Sorry for the inconvenience here.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, they have a test, so I don't want to disrupt them.
You are cutting into my kite surfing time.
Yes, we will. Okay. All right. So why don't we go over here? Okay.
Okay. Last question. Do you want to hold it? I can.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You said that the Earth. So you're talking about the Earth resetting every few hundred years. What do you think the like time frame on that is?
So again, we don't know the actual time frame, but there appears to be a massive reset in the mid to late 1700s, and then the Earth was repopulated in the early 1800s. There's tons and tons of evidence for that. And if you watch My Lunch Break on YouTube, it's on the app in the Old World section if you want it all organized, or you could just find it on YouTube for free and watch his stuff, and you'll learn about the reset. It's amazing.
But we have literature and like art and like history that has survived way longer than that.
They're from the old world. When you do me a favor, go watch 3 or 4 episodes of My Lunch Break, and you will see that this stuff is, none of it makes any sense. All these civilizations across America, all the cities, every single city burned. They all burned down, supposedly, right? These incredible buildings all burned down, and then they were rebuilt a year later. No, it's not true. It's all lies.
Okay.
Listen, again, don't believe anything I say. Right?
No, I know.
All the work has been done for you. You have to go look though. What's the name of the channel I want you to watch?
Lunch Club?
Nope.
Lunch Break.
Lunch Break. My Lunch Break. If you forget it all, just go to flatearthdave.com and you can find it there.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep. Thank you.
What's up?
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Vinny. I was told by one of my friends to ask you how planes work.
Airplane? Yeah, with what?
Yes.
With how airplanes work?
Yeah.
Airplanes fly straight and level over the earth plane. They don't curve down. Do you know how a gyro works? You know what a gyro is? So airplanes on the runway, they spin up a gyro on a 3-axis gimbal. So when the plane turns left or turns right or goes up or down, right, the gyro holds rigidity in space, right? So when an airplane flies over the globe, halfway over the globe, the gyro is now vertical. It's now vertical, and it doesn't happen. Airplanes fly straight and level over the earth plane. The SR-72 Blackbird, the new spy plane, goes 4,000 miles an hour. Do you know that it would have to drop at a mile per second just to follow the curve? A mile per second. That's faster than free fall, right? The only way it can work is on a level, non-rotating flat earth. And we have whistleblowers, pilots, astronauts. They're all whistleblowers. They all talk about it. Here's one for you. On my website, you'll see a big picture of me. It says crash course. Click it. I think the third video down, it says flatten the curve. It's all military pilots and weapons guys talking about how the earth absolutely, positively, provably is flat. Otherwise, their airplanes and weapons would not work. Flatten the curve. It's in the crash course section on my website. It's also linked in the stuff David has for you. Watch that, and then your attitude will change.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You got it. Yep.
All right.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you lots of questions. Kids were definitely very, very inspired, and it's going to make for a lot of good conversation. So thank you for taking time out and talking to all my classes.
No problem. Flatten the curve that I was just telling him about. You should watch that too. You'd really like it. Flatten the curve. It's in the playlist that the 21 questions playlist, or it's on my website in the crash course.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, David. Appreciate it.
See you. Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Hey, everyone. If you enjoyed this interview, please help support my work and help wake up others by referring or gifting the app to at least one person today. By doing that, you're going to help wake people up and help me to continue doing other interviews like this. With the censorship out there that's going on, it's very difficult to find relevant information. And the app, as you know, brings people to the truthful information of our world. So help support my work, help support your efforts in waking up friends, family, and strangers. Gift them the app or just recommend the app. And let's make 2025 the year Flat Earth breaks free. Check the links below for information on how to gift the app or just refer the app to others and use your referral code to earn Dome cryptocurrency and a free subscription. Thanks.